Shalom, my friends. This is Max Joseph, and I am here because I just saw Cats. And this review isn't going to be just another regular review. For the first time ever, we're doing a joint review with someone very, 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 very special. She's a brilliant, brilliant actor. She has the best voice on the planet. She's very, very cute. She is my fiancé, Samantha Schiffman.
Hi!
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great.
Did we just see Cats?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think? Initial thoughts right off the bat.
I really liked it.
You did. Okay. Well, so that's my fiance. Thank you.
That's Cats. I mean, purely exposition. I love Cats the musical to begin with, so, I wasn't gonna not love it.
So we want people to watch the show.
Okay.
All right. Let's get to know you real quick.
All right.
Samantha.
Hi.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Goonies and Moana.
Wow. Those are great choices. Your favorite movie musical?
Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat with Donny
Stars.
Osmond.
Donny Osmond. We have a Christmas Eve tradition that we do in this household, and we watch Donny Osmond's Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat every Christmas Eve.
With German subtitles.
With German subtitles, because it's on YouTube for free. Check it out. Favorite actors?
I really love Meryl Streep, because, who doesn't?
Yeah.
I also really have a really special place in my heart for Kate McKinnon. I really love her.
She's great.
And Kristen Wiig. In my head, it's just occurring to me.
All these great comedic actors.
If you've been on SNL, I love you. Tina Fey.
Maya Rudolph.
Strong women.
Strong women.
Who are hysterical to watch.
Meryl Streep,
who I also love. Who's going to be hysterical in Little Women.
Yes, she is. Are you so excited?
I'm so excited. Strong women.
That's all you want. That's all we all want. Your favorite movie quote of all time?
Oh, gosh. I really like, that's the secret. I'm always angry.
From?
That is from The Avengers.
I'm so proud of you.
First one.
Speaking of these kind of nerd kind of things, Star Wars or Star Trek?
I feel like if I don't say Star Wars, I'll be in trouble.
You're very smart. Same kind of thing, MCU or DCEU?
MCU, because I'm not quite sure what DCEU is.
Perfect, that's what I wanted to hear. Movie you're embarrassed you love?
Cats. I love Cats.
It's like it's perfect. This is perfect. Movie you're embarrassed you haven't seen?
You gotta go with the classics, right? I've not seen Casablanca. I've not seen...
What about Gone with the Wind?
No. I gotta give...
Shawshank?
I love
Shawshank. I know you've seen Shawshank.
We've watched Shawshank together.
Many times. We're gonna watch those very soon.
Yeah, we should.
Last two questions. Your most anticipated film next year of 2020.
When does Little Women come out?
Christmas this year.
So I'm excited for that, but that's not this year.
Perfect.
Next year, I mean. In the Heights.
Okay, I'm right with you on that. Fun fact, I saw them filming this thing because they shot the whole movie right here.
In the Heights.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's great. Spoiler, we're in the Heights. Last question, candy or popcorn at a movie theater?
Oh, popcorn, 100%. And a Coke Zero.
Ugh. I disagree with everything you just said. It's always
this is
about
why we
the
work
candy.
well together.
I guess.
You get the dibs and the Twizzlers.
Have I once gotten dibs in my life?
Yeah. No?
No.
I might have made that
Twizzlers,
up.
cookie dough bites, Raisinets.
Cookie dough bites, that's what I was thinking of. I eat the popcorn.
You do, and you... Wait, do you like the butter or no butter?
Depends on my mood. But, if you're going to a movie, you gotta go big or go home.
That's the only way I like
yeah.
popcorn. It has to have, just much butter.
Soaking.
It
dissolves.
Yeah, I want, popcorn on the side.
Sure.
Yeah, like you have your pasta. You want you'll have cheese with some
pasta on the side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to what everyone has been waiting for. Cats. I'm gonna let you do the plot. So Please tell us the plot of Cats. What's it about?
So the story goes like this.
Nice.
There's no story. In the Broadway musical of Cats, there's not really a plot. Like, you meet the cats, one of them gets chosen to go to the Heaviside layer, and it's a great dancing feline time.
Okay, so I have so many questions about this film and why it was made. First of all...
Well, why wasn't it made? It's Cats.
I don't get it. Okay. Let's start with some things that we both really liked.
Yes.
I liked the dancing. I liked...
Andy Blankenbuehler's genius. He did it on Broadway, and his choreography for the movie was on point.
Literally. It was very good. The choreography was very good. I think Jennifer Hudson was great. I thought Ian McKellen was great. What's his name?
McKellen?
McKellen? You're so good. Ian McKellen. He was very good. Touch wood. Great line. He just goes up to a piece of wood and says, touch wood.
Well, in England, that's what they say when they mean knock on wood. Like,
good luck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now we know.
It's funny now.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so Ian McKellen, Jennifer Hudson, Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
And Dame Judi Dench.
Which, our biggest question of this film is, how did they get Dame Judi Dench and Sir Ian McKellen to do this movie?
I don't get it.
They were wonderful.
Were they? What? Okay. What were your favorite parts? So mine are dancing. I think that's probably it.
Well, my biggest issue, and I told you this when we left the theater, was that part of what I love about Cats is that it's all of, like, an entire ensemble dancing together, but because it's shot as a movie, you're getting different pieces of different people, and, like, you don't get to see them dance as an ensemble as a whole, which is my favorite part of Cats. I do think that the choreography and the dancing was amazing. My favorite parts, let's see. I really like James Corden. I think he's very funny.
He was fun.
I'm not a huge fan of the lines that were added because Cats is supposed to be a sung-through musical, but I do think that they guided it the way a movie should be guided.
I was going to say, because when I showed you this last trailer, you were very upset that there were lines. So, like, overall, because there were lines, did that go down a notch for you, the film? Did it, like, go from, like, it could have been what it was, and then it's like, that really turned me off to it?
Well, it added something to... It added a plot to something that, in my opinion, should be just like a spectacle that you get to enjoy at face value.
Sure.
Which I don't know that I think Cats should just be like the fun that it is. Because here's my thing: is if you're going to Cats, you gotta go in just expecting it to be something bizarre.
Right.
Knowing it's gonna be bizarre.
Yeah.
On Broadway, it's people in leotards and wigs and tails. In the movie, it's CGI'd people that we know.
Yeah, and that's where the big conversation happens, because the CGI is awful. It is.
Well, it was a strange choice to what was CGI'd and what wasn't.
And talk about that. What was CGI'd, what wasn't CGI'd, because we could tell.
Like, there were some times where you saw, what is her name? Francesca Hayward, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Where you saw, like, her fingernails, and there were some times where her hand was completely white. Like, it was...
Or covered in fur.
Was it covered in fur? I may have missed that.
I might have been
But,
dreaming
like, you saw all the toes of the actors while they were dancing. Like, when they were pointing, it was human feet, not cat feet or jazz shoes.
Right.
And, like, hands. Like, you saw hands, which made sense. Like, Jennifer Hudson had nails on with, like, a glove, which made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't consistent. Like, actor to actor, it was not consistent. Idris Elba's suit was something...
That was from a horror movie.
It was...
And I believe that's in the trailer, so I'm going to throw that right here just for you. It is horrifying. Watching him jump down in his butt-naked self. It is...
Well, a suit. Yeah. But you could see his abs. Like, it was very strange.
It's such a strange experience. And I was talking to one of my friends who's a professional makeup artist and a wig designer, like, for Broadway, and he was saying something about how Cats, one of, like, the biggest spectacles of the musical itself is that it's not like it's people. It's not like it's not supposed to be CGI. The magic of Cats.
No,
is that
it's real magic.
makeup. It's not makeup. It's
and
makeup.
It's iconic.
And it's like, it's about the costumes. It's about the makeup. And this, they made it. If they would have done literally what they did on stage, but put a backdrop to it,
Yeah.
and put the production design, which was actually beautiful. Like, if they did all the production design with the current costumes, I think that could have been something interesting.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I think that choosing to make it in more than one place was a little bit like, oh, we're in this club now, we're in this place now, and like it was all these small cats like on a massive stage.
Right.
Which I think took away from like the beauty of like we're watching an ensemble dance and do this thing.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But there's also just so many problems with the visuals because there were moments with Dame Judi Dench where you would see her have a ring on. The next scene, it's gone.
And it's oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, yeah, and then the next scene, she had this, like, red ruby ring on her left hand, and on the next one, that one was missing, and it was on this one.
Which I thought was intentional.
There's no way. There's no way!
I believe you. Well, because, I mean, I don't know if this is a thing that people know, but they've redone some of the CGI, and it said that it was coming out Sunday, so we're actually not sure which version we saw.
I hope we saw the one that wasn't done, because if that was the one that was redone, can you imagine?
There was a scene where you could see James Corden's full face.
They literally just forgot to edit his face during Buster for Jones. Fun fact, I played that when I was 6 years old.
Yeah, you did. Can you find a photo and put it there?
I surely cannot.
Okay.
I'm sure you would. There's a moment of his song where it's like the rest of his body is covered in fur. And then
this
it's just
weird
like
suit that jiggled in a funny way because of the CGI.
When he wasn't moving.
Yeah, exactly.
But the moment was that his face, it was James Corden. It was not Buster for Jones. It was Mr. James Corden. And
he was brilliant. I thought he was very funny.
Sure. Speaking of the funny people, what did we think of Rebel Wilson?
I thought that she was Rebel Wilson playing Kat.
That's probably accurate.
I think that's also true with most things. I have a different take on Jenny Any Dots.
Tell me about your take. Who's your favorite cat?
Okay, if we're gonna talk about favorite cats, we got to skip to Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer, because my favorite cats in the musical are Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer.
Okay, wait. Pin that. Go back to Jenny Any Dots
and then we'll go to favorite cats.
We'll talk about your cats.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I wish you could have had my hand during this film because it was like this, squeezing the life out of me.
Do my face when because I said before we went in, I really hope it starts with the overture, because the overtures. I mean, when I saw it on Broadway, I cried.
You know that feeling when Star Wars. That's not the right key. She had that. That's how she feels with the Cats overture.
It goes. Oh gosh, can I do it in this moment?
The pressure's on.
The pressure is on. It goes, oh, I can't do it now that you've just sung Star Wars. But it basically goes into with this like bop to it.
That's what I would call it.
And what was my face? I was nervous it wasn't going to start that way.
Well, right, because there are sometimes these movie musicals like to just like do nothing like what was written.
Which I do think that they did stick to the order of Cats, and they kept true to it, adding a little hip hop, adding whatever to like make it modern. But I do think they stuck to Cats.
Back to Jenny Any Dots.
So my take on Jenny Any Dots is that she is like a lazy cat who, like, in her spare time teaches some mice, which we also need to talk about.
If you think the Cats visuals are bad, when you go see this film, just wait until you see these mice
and the Beatles. It's like a spacesuit helmet.
I've never seen something like this in my life. It was remarkable.
Do you know what it looks like to me? The little Beatles specifically. Sandra Bullock in that movie where she's in space and all you see is like her face and it's like CGI'd into the astronaut helmet.
Yeah, but that was beautiful.
Terrifying.
I don't think either of us will sleep tonight. Or we'll just dream of Idris Elba like...
But Jenny Any Dots she teaches these mice and these beetles how to tap, and I think Rebel Wilson had a take on it. I think it was like, because in this, everyone is vying to be the Jellicle cat that is reborn and goes to the Heaviside layer. So everyone had this layer of competition where usually it's just Jenny Any Dots like, I'm tapping and I'm a cool cat and like, it's cool because she, like, is the tapping cat, and she pulls off a jacket, and she has tap shoes on, and then there's a whole tap dance with the mice, and this, it was, like, Rebel Wilson being Rebel Wilson, like, being sassy around the rest of the cats.
That's kind of one of my problems with this film and maybe some other movie musicals is that they cast people for namesake.
Sure.
And that, like, I think that Les Mis, which was also directed by Tom Hooper, could have been amazing if they would have cast not stars.
I loved Les Mis.
Okay, you're wrong, but that's okay. Wait, did I know this about you?
I mean, do I think it's the best movie musical of all time? No. Do I think it has outstanding performances?
From who?
I think Anne Hathaway is wonderful.
Besides her, Hugh Jackman.
I mean, you know I love Amanda Seyfried. I don't think that, like, vocally she was the right character,
let's get to the point. Russell Crowe.
Ruined his career.
But, like,
that's one person.
But that was my point. I wish that in these movies... So, like, what I'm excited for is for In the Heights, where they're casting, like, Broadway people who can sing, who can act, who can dance.
Well, this is the thing about, in this, like... Francesca Hayward, like, the story is not supposed to be about Victoria, but she did a great job as someone who is ballet trained. She acted really well. She sang really well. But, like, you can tell that the people who are stage people, Cassandra, I don't know who played Cassandra, but she has to have a theater background.
I don't know. So we talked about Rebel Wilson, and let's go to your two favorite cats.
I love Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser.
Yeah, you kept tapping me, and I don't know the score nearly as well. Like, she works out to the cat soundtrack.
I was just going to say that.
And
I know all the words.
That's great. You kept tapping me during their song because you're like, this is not how
It's not. And maybe it's from, like, an old score. Maybe it's from a West End score, from an old version of it. But that is not the version of Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser that I know. Usually it's like... I mean, I did like them. I actually really liked them in the movie, and I liked their characters. But they're supposed to be, like, a little bit mischievous and a little bit like, we're going to steal this. We're going to do this. Like, that's their whole thing, is that they steal jewels and they steal food. And that, like, the biggest spectacle about them is, like, they do double cartwheels. They're, like, they're in sync with everything they do. Put a pin, because I have something else to say about being in sync.
In sync. Bye.
But the song they sang, while it was all the correct lyrics... was not the tune that Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser usually is. It's, to me, the one that they usually do is a little bit more, like, tongue-in-cheek, like, we're these people.
Yeah, why didn't they do that? That would have made so much more sense.
Right? I think that they wanted to build up, and this is a spoiler alert, just so everyone is aware.
If you want to be worried about spoilers for cats, then...
I mean, it's not really a spoiler.
Go ahead.
They assist Bomb Ballerina, which is not really... who is Taylor Swift... which is not really how it's done in the musical. They assist her in kind of, like, enchanting all the other cats when McCavity arrives, which usually they're not a part of that. No one's really a part of that except McCavity.
Right.
So they kind of play into the, like, enchanting everyone and, like, it's almost like a seduction.
Flotsam and Jetsam kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's not... and for me, they're usually more playful. Maybe that's how I read them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
NSYNC.
They chose to cast the Les brothers, I think is their name.
The French guys. They're amazing. And they wore shoes.
They did wear shoes. There was a lot of cats wearing shoes.
I was kind of into the shoes,
Me too. But there's these two cats. I can't remember what the girl's cat name is, but they chose to make them the same. Tantamil and another one who move in sync. That's their whole thing. And I'm actually glad that they chose, like, hip-hop twins to be the two cats that move in sync all the time.
When I saw they were cast, I was thrilled.
Loved them.
They're amazing.
Well, there was a lot of cats in shoes.
There were, and but
not all the cats in shoes.
Right. It's just, like, make a choice. Because, like, I don't know why they wanted to have their fingers and their toes.
Well,
like,
and then when you see Taylor Swift show up in pumps and everyone's been in no shoes the entire time.
Right. Like, the first image is her, like, heel and then catnip.
I also am not sure why they went an hour without showing us Taylor Swift.
Probably because she was on tour or something. She's like, I can only do this.
The role that she was cast as usually sings most of the songs. Did you know this?
Tell me more.
She sings, Sir Ian McKellen.
Sir, thank you.
Who plays Asparagus, or Gus, the theater cat.
I genuinely can't believe you know this much about cats. B,
I saw it twice on Broadway.
I love you a lot, but this is insanity.
This is something I know a lot about.
Continue.
Usually that song is sung entirely by Bomb Ballerina, and she's also a part of the McCavity group, and she's also a part of a handful of things. But it's narrated more by like usually by Monkey Strap, who I don't actually know the name of the actor who played it, but he was wonderful. Rum Tum Tugger, who I think we do, and Bomb Ballerina. They're usually and the other cat that usually does it. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. But there's usually like 2 male, 2 female who kind of narrate the whole thing, and then you get a little bit of Jemima, and then Cassandra, who kind of took the role of Bomb Ballerina in this.
Okay.
She did a lot of the narrating and the singing. Like, she's the one who came up to Grisabella and did the whole, like...
Oh,
so, but that's usually Taylor Swift's part. So, it was interesting that they only chose to use her in that one scene.
It worked.
Well, I mean, you know how I feel about the whole McCavity sequence. It's the one part that I didn't like.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I didn't dislike it, but the whole thing felt a little bit like, we're going to put a plot to why McCavity is here, as opposed to like, he's here and we have to run away.
Right.
You know, and like there was a whole, like Taylor Swift kind of introducing him and like being his thing is not at all.
Do you think it was actually kind of smart that they added a plot?
Yes.
For a movie?
100%. I do think it was smart. I thought that whole section in general was a little bit messy.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that the choreography was good because it's in the middle of, like, the Jellicle Ball, which is one of the most iconic parts of musical
theater. And that was
theater.
also, I think, the best part of the film, the Jellicle Ball. I think as soon as they got Dame Judi Dench into the Jellicle Ball and they started dancing for her for, like, 10 minutes, it was stunning. Yeah. It was a beautiful sequence, and then
Taylor Swift comes in, pouring catnip over everybody.
Right, as like if it was like fairy dust.
Yeah.
To, like, say like you're in trance now.
This is what Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer were helping with.
Right.
To bring in McCavity, who's kind of been like lurking in the shadows the whole time. It felt a little messy to me.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Messy, unnecessary.
Well, and then bringing Mistopheles in to save the day made sense.
It doesn't.
He does, but it's more like he just appears and he saves the day. The whole show, the whole movie, you see him like, I'm a magician. I can do this. I'm a magician. Cards. I have cards. I'm cute. Which he was so endearing and so sweet. Good. But it was kind of like we've seen him build up to this point as opposed to letting him kind of like pop out of the ensemble and like have this magical moment. He's literally the magical cat.
Yeah.
I know a lot about cats. I'm so embarrassed.
No, it's okay. The one song I like aggressively love in Cats is Rum Tum Tugger. It's my favorite part. He's my favorite part of the show. I thought he was Jason Derulo played him, and obviously I think the second half was good of his song. I don't know why. I think it might have been all of the scenery changes.
This is what I'm saying. Is like it distracted from like the simplicity of like the characters.
I think that like really, really bothered me. I wish that it was just like them in this giant theater. Yeah. And him like swinging around or something, or like.
I mean, I think vocally it was a great performance.
Yeah, it was great.
But I know what you're saying. It was distracting.
It was just like too much, and like Cats is already so much.
It's a spectacle.
Right, and they tried to make a spectacle on top of a spectacle. And it was just kind of like.
I'm sorry. Can you do that again?
Just like that.
Yeah.
Other problems. Besides not everything, because you...
Well, I loved it. Just because I loved it doesn't mean I don't think there were problems.
Yeah.
I am glad that Taylor Swift is a songwriter.
Wait. I know what you're going to say, and I want to do a fan question.
Oh, okay.
So stand by. Because I know exactly what you're going to say. Okay. Amy Collier asks, how do you feel about the new song? And this new song was written by Taylor Swift and, of course, the writer of the show, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
By Taylor Swift.
Did I say that?
No, but I'm saying it was written by her, but also not sung by her.
In the credits it was.
But the
more important one was during the film. So, talk to me about the song Beautiful Ghosts from the hit musical Cats, written by Taylor Swift, and EGOT winner, Andrew Lloyd Webber. I have my opinion.
Is he an EGOT?
He is.
What does he have an Emmy for?
You keep talking, I'm going to find you,
I'd love to know.
Talk about Beautiful Ghosts.
Now that I'm, like, actually thinking about it, I don't think it was a bad song. I actually think it was a beautifully written song. I'm just mad that there's a song that's in it that isn't from the original. But I felt this way about Les Mis as well.
And that's honestly, like, one of my biggest problems with all of this is that so many movie musicals write a song in order to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
And that bothers me.
Like La La Land did it the right way, making it about
it's literally a new musical.
Yeah.
But like in the remake of Lion King, which I actually really enjoyed. I really like these remakes.
I haven't seen it.
Well, you were away for a year.
They played it on the pool deck.
Whatever. She was on a ship for a year, working as an actor. It's very exciting. They wrote a song for Beyonce. It was called Spirit.
I did hear this.
When you listen to the whole thing, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But in the film, it is literally there for 20 seconds. And that really bothers me. Because, like, if you're going to write a song, have it be a, like, predominant part.
I mean, I do think that this helped the flow and, like, us understand the end of the show, the movie.
Yeah.
I do think it was placed in a good spot. But in my opinion, there's something so stark about Grisabella doing, like, the first part. I think it's called Grisabella the Glamour Cat is the first part of it. And then her just ending and it going on to the next bit, like, leaving her in that. And for this song, it's sung by Victoria, who usually doesn't have a song. She just does that solo on memory, usually.
That's it.
So that's part of the reason I was so off-put by it, because they've really made it about Victoria, who's, like, this young cat. The whole thing about her is, like, she's white, she's pure. So to give her this song, I think was an interesting choice and worked well with where it was. And I think she acted it brilliantly.
Yeah.
Then Dame Judi Jen started singing it. It turned into a whole thing. It just, like, it felt a little unnecessary. Like, it's already a perfect score.
Is it?
Have you heard Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat?
Yes, and he was on a railway.
And he tapped on a railway, and he was actually wonderful.
He was a great tapper. I think he got an Emmy for the Jesus Christ Superstar live in concert. That's where his Emmy came from.
Ah.
Interesting.
The one we just saw on TV?
Yes.
So he just became an EGOT?
Yep.
Wow.
Mazel tov to him.
Listen, I'm a big fan.
I know you are.
I love Joseph. I love cats.
He's great.
I'd love to know more about Starlight Express because I'm sure I'd love it.
Starlight Express. It's very good. Actually, I only know that one song.
Yeah.
Oh, we can talk about Academy Award winner Jennifer Hudson.
I thought she was wonderful. And like,
I think she was...
And like, a role that they... Usually with someone like Jennifer Hudson, like for Taylor Swift, they really downplayed the role. Mm-hmm. For Jennifer Hudson, she did exactly what she needed to do as Grisabella. And I thought she actually, like, was almost acting too hard to actually sing the song.
That's kind of where I'm at. I think that she was too good.
I thought she was wonderful.
No, I think she was wonderful, but, like, because this movie was what it was, and it was kind of just, like, all over the place, and, like, there were some people who were, like, Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench, and Sir Ian McKellen, who can, like, act their faces off, and then there's, like...
Which he did.
He absolutely did.
Touch wood.
And then there's other people who are like theater actors who are like way more expressive. And then Jennifer Hudson is like a really good mix.
Yeah.
And so she was like perfect.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm not saying that deserves an Academy Award. I am heavens no.
I thought she was great.
She was great. She got the Viola Davis snot going on. It's great.
Oh, she did.
It's great.
We love the Viola Davis snot.
There's nothing better. Speaking of favorite actors.
Oh.
She's great.
She's so good.
She is very good. She's, like, too good, though. I'm more excited for her to do Aretha.
Which they played as one of the trailers.
Very smart.
What was the other one that we said that they played that we were like, this is brilliant?
Sonic
the Hedgehog.
Because, as I'm sure hopefully some of you know, they remade Sonic the Hedgehog movie because the internet went crazy because it looked terrible. So they redid it with, like, $4 million. And it looks amazing now.
It looks amazing. And I laughed out loud during the trailer.
It looks very funny. Jim Carrey's back. It's great.
I also laughed out loud a lot during this movie. But for reasons I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, along with most of the audience. And the reason that it's funny about the Sonic thing is that what we haven't discussed is that apparently they decided that they're re-releasing
We said this.
Did we?
We said this because we didn't know which version we were going to see.
Right. But the thing is, we saw a later showing tonight.
And the article we read said that they'd be released Sunday morning. So if that
was
product,
the edited product of said Cats.
Well, originally Tom Hooper let out like an interview that he was finishing it hours before the premiere.
I mean, like, come on. Just push it another month and just don't worry about the Academy Awards because it's not going to happen.
Oh, was that why? Because it needed to be submitted by a certain day? I didn't realize that.
It was just silly. There's no reason to try and push it because it's just a...
Yeah.
Should we do a few more fan questions and call it a day?
Yeah.
All right. Ari Axelrod says...
I know him.
You do? I don't. What's your earliest memory with cats?
Well, I didn't know about cats till I was like 19. Actually, my earliest memory, that's a lie, was when I was in high school.
I was like, how did you not know about cats?
Well, I auditioned for it. It was my freshman year of high school, and I didn't get cast. And I was like,
so sorry.
I don't really need to go see this. I had friends in it, but like I was, a petty teen at that point.
Of course.
And then when I was 19, I had a friend in it, and I went to go see it, and I fell in love.
And now you know every single word to every single song.
And I have no shame. Oh, you know what my earliest memory is? When I used to watch Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat on VHS, one of the trailers was the same version, like the same production, but cats.
Oh. You're so right.
Uh-huh.
I had the VHS.
Uh-huh.
That's
so there you go, Ari Axelrod.
Ryan says, how do you feel about Taylor Swift playing
Ballerina?
I can't say her name. And we kind of discussed it, but talk about it a little bit more.
I thought it was, she's not a bad choice for the actual role. She's sassy, she's cool. I just wish that if she was going to play Ballerina, she played Ballerina. I think that they gave her, the one song, and she literally was in one scene.
Right.
Which was what it was, but, yeah, I wish if she was going to play that role, she played that role. Whereas, Cassandra really ended up playing that role.
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think she was bad, though.
Shockingly.
The whole thing, that whole sequence was a mess, as I said, but she wasn't bad.
No. I guess this one's for me. Ricky asks, if Max was a cat, what kind would he be and why?
I think that's a question for me to answer. That's probably a question
for you, because I don't think I know any kind of cat.
Well, there are two answers to this question.
I can't wait
Which
to hear.
cat in Cats is he? And which kind of cat would he be?
Please.
I think if you were a cat, you would be like a cute little, you don't know what kind they are, but they got the eyes that are just adorable, and they look at you and they just rub up against you.
This is why I'm marrying her. Continue.
If you were a cat in Cats?
Yes.
Based on the movie, I think you would be Mistopheles.
That's who I was going to say.
Based on the movie. I wouldn't say that he's like that in the musicale. In the musicale... I almost don't want to answer it.
You have to. Don't say Buster Jones. We're going to move forward to our film rankings.
No. If you were in the musical... No, not Buster Jones.
Where are the latkes? Need to eat more.
Made them earlier. Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Happy Hanukkah. Continue.
No, I'm going to stay with Mistopheles.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, it's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
If you were to give this film a rating from 0.5 star to 5, what would you give it?
3.5.
3.5.
Based on my enjoyment or what I think it deserves?
Your rating.
I think 3.5 or 4, somewhere between there. Because I loved it because I love cats. You were going to win me over no matter what going in. I was worried that I was going to hate it.
You were.
But, there's something about that score that, makes the hair on my arm stand up in the best way.
Oh, yeah.
So, I already knew that it was a win there. And there was a lot of problems.
Yes.
And a lot of problems matching to the musical. A lot of problems with the CGI.
Right.
A lot of problems with it being messy. Just in general.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a solid 3.5, 3 3/4.
Maybe out of 4 once you see it again, and maybe the visuals are better.
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give it a solid 2.5.
It's higher than I thought you'd give it.
It would be probably 1, but I think the dancing is extraordinary.
Really it is.
And I think Dame Judi Dench, Sir Ian McKellen, and Jennifer Hudson are enough to give it at least another star. And the production design, even though it kind of didn't make sense and it was lots of things happening that were unnecessary, it looked very pretty.
It was kind of seamless.
I don't know about seamless, but
okay.
You're allowed to think that.
I didn't feel like they were on a green screen.
No, and that's what I'm saying. The production, quality and design is very good.
Yeah.
But man, this is a mess. But I will also
It's a
say,
great time.
that's what I was gonna say. This is why I love movies. This is why I love going to the movies, because you get experiences like this. Even if it's a bad movie, even if it's great, like the best experience I've ever had was Avengers Endgame, because you know me.
I loved Avengers Endgame too.
It's great. It's my favorite movie, and I love it. And I just like going to the movies for this reason. Even if it's a bad movie, like, it's a fun experience. And
Have you ever walked out of a movie theater?
never. Not once.
Oh, I did once.
What movie? Do you know?
Confessions of a Shopaholic.
Are you a shopaholic?
No, I was with my friend Danny, and he was like, "Are you enjoying it?" I said, "Nah, I'm kind of bored," and so we left. I'm sure it was a great film.
Sure.
I was in high school.
All right. No, I've never walked out. If I'm paying money, I'm going to go. But people did walk out. This was also the movie.
Oh, yeah.
There were a good, like, 6, 7, 8 people who just, like, literally laughed and then walked.
2 people in front of us, like, halfway through the movie, just got up and left, and we were like, "Are they coming back?"
I mean, I was thrilled because now we had more room, like, to see. But, no, I love going to the movies. And this is, like, even though I didn't think this is a very good movie, this was one of the best theater-going experiences I've had this year. In all honesty, I'm not joking. It was so much fun. We had a blast.
People applauded after Memory.
Yeah,
Like you were at the
probably
theater.
it was the only really okay part, and people were like, they did it. They did something okay. No, you really liked it, and that's great.
Well, I really liked it because I love cats. Like, it wasn't
You
like,
do.
I thought this was the best movie of all time. Like, I thought it was an okay take on it.
But a fun time.
I had a great time.
It's so much fun, and that's why I really wanted to have her on. Not just because I love her, but because she loves the musical Cats. She's like, I need to do this review with you. So I'm like, sure, why not? And you're the first person to do a review with me. So this is.
I feel very lucky.
You should be. Feel lucky. That's all we have for you. So thank you. Well, thank you.
Thank you for
You were
having me.
so great here. I had so
Thanks.
much fun.
Me
We had
too.
such a good night.
We did. We saw cats.
It was great.
I've been documenting it all day.
Yeah, and we're probably going to talk about it until we go to bed.
And then have nightmares of Idris Elba.
Probably. My friends, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like this video, do everything you want to do in the comment sections, and then, of course, please subscribe to this channel. And if you really love me, please consider being a patron on Patreon, where you can get patron-only content, guest interviews, giveaways, and lots more. You can even give me a film to review or a song to cover, and maybe she'll join me. And that video will be dedicated to you.
Shalom, my friends.